Hey, Shopify store owners, especially if you're selling on Etsy too. Here's a quick question. Are people actually finding your products on Google? If SEO feels confusing, overwhelming, or like something you'll get to later, this is for you. I'm hosting a free 7-day Shopify SEO challenge that breaks it down into simple, doable steps. No tech headaches, no fluff. Join us at aiseoschool.com. That's school with a K, aiseoschool.com. 7 days, it's free, better traffic. Let's go. Welcome to my summer rerun series for the Simple and Smart SEO Show podcast. First up, we've got Andrew Holland of JBH. You can find the full episode in the season 3, episode 84 podcast with Andrew Holland. Enjoy the clip.
You talk about performance SEO, like that's part of your title. What's different about performance SEO than just regular SEO? I think you're alluding to it.
So it's very easy. You've actually alluded to yourself. You're getting 10,000 visitors a month. You wouldn't necessarily get in the revenue that you wanted from 10,000 visitors. But 10,000 visitors is a heck of a lot of traffic. And 10,000 people come to your website. So, well, why aren't they buying? So performance SEO is actually really about that, about we want sales. So sales is the goal. Brands grow through sales. And SEO should help a brand to increase its sales. Publisher SEO is slightly different. I'm always talking about brand SEO in terms of someone that sells something. And when you're a performance SEO, it's about making those sales happening as best as you can and capturing those sales and doing so in a rationally optimistic manner based on logic and sense, and also having sensible conversations about SEO as a channel. So it's about helping sale to happen. And also, we're mostly a demand capture channel, and performance SEO is ultimately about turnover. It's about helping brands to grow their turnover. And there's sadly an epidemic in SEO which talks about traffic. I listened to the story about this traffic and stuff, and I think that doesn't follow logic, because not all traffic is relevant, and it doesn't even stand up to a tiny bit of scrutiny in relation to how people buy and how sales occur and the use of human memory and things like that and brand principles. It doesn't, just because, for example, I'll give you, not my case study, but I know there's a very popular case study out there in the SEO world. And when you break it down, mostly Excel formulas and related to a software that sells some kind of replacement for websites, and not web analytics, but like data management and spreadsheets. The idea being that you need an Excel formula, and then to go from that to actually replacing your entire company's use of Sheets or Excel or something like that for this new data stores, they are miles apart. They're not on the same page. So you can have 800,000 visitors a month looking for Excel formulas. That does not mean that the idea that a tiny percent of them might be looking actually into moving their whole data system over to this new system or platform, whatever it is. And that's 800,000 visitors of waste. No matter how much that 800,000 visitors cost to build that traffic, that is nowhere near a productive use of SEO resources, or even Business Project makes a great case study for traffic. It isn't going to do anything for sales. But don't be wrong, people can twist it and say, oh, look, we got all this traffic and now look at our revenue growth and things like that. But it won't be. It won't be. That's just the way people try and twist things around. Well, there's loads of case studies like that. And I've experienced it where we've worked on businesses and we got their traffic up, and then reality is it didn't increase their revenue. So we actually did work on pages that did increase their revenue. Traffic went tiny, 1% up, but their revenue went from 1 million to 3 million. So it's about focusing what matters rather than thinking of traffic. Traffic has to be earned, but traffic has to be valuable to a business, and it has to have a business case for that value.
Absolutely. And that was one reason why I don't like that term, like conversion rate. First, it was like, go on social media and build your business. And I was like, wow, that doesn't work. Okay, I did that, didn't work. Or at least that's not the place you want to build it. Just like you don't want to build it on Etsy. You want to build it on your own website. And then it was like, get more traffic. And then, like you said, everything you just said, that's why that doesn't work. And so I started thinking about what I consider like profit rate optimization. And I'm curious, what did you do? Do you remember like any kind of tidbits of what you guys did to those pages, or how you found your focus for those pages to truly optimize it for profit?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't really with that client that I'm just talking about. That's a few years ago. But in truth, we created content, and that content was very top of funnel, and that top of funnel content was massive. But reality is the client was very strong minded and very commercially driven. So now it's not really working for us. That isn't. We need to change tact. Go do me a strategy that makes me money, not traffic. I went back and looked at everything, and we created a huge process where we had a 24-hour-a-day content system working on pages, which are basically like product pages is the best way to describe them. And they are so high purchase intent, it's ridiculous, but every page is ridiculously low traffic. You would only go to those pages if you were buying or selling that particular item. I mean, it's so unique. So we did that at scale, as scale as you can. I mean, you can do it with AI now. And yeah, the business dramatically increased turnover, and they built their own internal team to replace the agency usage. And I'm still in touch with the client now. He's somebody I can have a good conversation with, and I'm sure we'll end up working together in the future. But yeah, and that's the thing though, but that would go against every kind of traditional SEO or traffic versus rank. It's got to be, the traffic's got to be meaningful, not meaningless. And it's got to be commercially focused. If you were to look at that website and strip away all the informational content, there is barely a lift in traffic, barely a lift. But that lift, that little, like maybe 1% lift is worth of millions. And that's, I think that's the key generally with that kind of approach to performance SEO. And that kind of shaped my sort of vision moving forward in the future. So we have to move the needle for clients at all costs, and it has to be revenue focused.
So are you saying that you guys focus then on optimizing their product pages more for that?
Yeah, it's all bottom of funnel. It's all, because if you think about it, so the idea of what happens online is essentially, it's like a supermarket aisle. When somebody goes into the supermarket aisle, they're in the market for whatever you sell, and you pick up a package, you put it down, things like that. That's what goes on. And with buyers, they're in the aisle and they're going to buy today. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes because of the way it is digitally, we don't always buy there and then. We go on the research mission. But when you're in the mode to buy, you're in the aisle, and eventually you will put in your basket and check out. And it's a case of you just want to catch more of those people. So sales growth occurs by what they call light category buyers. And these are the people that don't buy on, or heavy buyers. So the people that buy from a certain type of website come there direct every time. That's great. People who buy from Amazon go to Amazon for everything, don't they do. And Amazon will grow by getting the likes of my mother and father to choose to buy from Amazon, who have never purchased anything from Amazon in their life. But if you think about Amazon growth, there's a huge section of society that has never purchased from Amazon. And if it encourages those people just to buy maybe one or two more things a year from them than they have done before, suddenly Amazon's growth is even through the roof. And it's the same model that applies to your business, my employer's business. It's the same model. If we can get more people to try us once, or try your service once, then what happens is that actually equates to growth overall. It's getting more people, catching more of today's buyers as possible. And if you maybe increase someone's chances, just literally go from 1 in 300 to 2 in 300, you double potential sales. And that's the thing with SEO. And that's why organic reach is so powerful, because you reach more people who are ready to buy, and you capture them as they're just about to. And it's, if you think about it, whenever you buy and you break down your own behavior, when you go online, and sometimes you'll search for the person directly, sometimes you'll look for the broad keyword, but you're ready to buy. And then even at the last minute, you'll click on a few links before you actually purchase to decide, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? We come back and forward, and eventually you try something. And the tiniest nudge at the end of that could move you from one to another. And that report that we shared on Google the other day is all about that, really. It's about nudging somebody. All we do in SEO is create online nudges for people. But unless you're ranked, you can't be in that party, and you have to pay to be there. And that's an expensive game, because every click is expensive and every click does not convert. And then even then, when they're ready to buy and you can convert, the organic traffic is reaching more people. More people are clicking through organic listings, because we know that they're paid listings, and there's almost like what they call Google gullibility. We rely on Google to filter the best result for us. So we can assume that when you search for something, anything on positions 1, 2, 3, or 4 is probably going to be the best for you, because they've had to fight their way up there and Google's got them there. So performance SEO is all about brand performance and business performance and sales performance. It's nothing about traffic or rankings. And that's why, I love seeing traffic graphs, because they're interesting, but very rarely do we get the story behind that in terms of revenue and all that kind of stuff. It's very just a try. Hey, look, we grow all this traffic. Fantastic.
Hey, Shopify store owners, especially if you're selling on Etsy too. Here's a quick question. Are people actually finding your products on Google? If SEO feels confusing, overwhelming, or like something you'll get to later, this is for you. I'm hosting a free 7-day Shopify SEO challenge that breaks it down into simple, doable steps. No tech headaches, no fluff. Join us at aiseoschool.com. That's school with a K, aiseoschool.com. 7 days, it's free, better traffic. Let's go.